All right, so we're going to call the meeting of the Board of Public Works to order. Could you please call the roll?
Commissioner Moriarty?
Here.
Commissioner Shoneman?
Here.
Commissioner Lemon?
Here.
Commissioner Shea?
Here.
And Mayor Dodges.
Here. Now, because we have one member via Zoom remotely, we're going to have to do everything by roll call according to state law. Now, the first...
If I may interrupt, I apologize. I believe I also need to,
Oh, yeah.
if anyone, I'm at my home, I am out of the meeting in case that's required by law, I don't know, but, my wife has pneumonia, she's on the second course of antibiotics, and I have, symptoms to when she started, down the road, so I don't want to expose you all. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So the first is a motion to approve the agenda, although with one change, if the board doesn't mind, which is to move John Vancore and Amy DeRoche, which is item A under administration, in other words, a update on the riverfront development plan. Move that to the beginning so they don't have to wait through everything if no one objects to that. So the motion is, or we are now on the motion. Alderman Moriarty, excuse me, Commissioner Moriarty.
I move to approve the agenda as amended.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Roll call.
Oh, sorry, we need a roll call, sorry.
Yeah, roll call.
Okay. Commissioner Moriarty?
Yes.
Commissioner Shoneman?
Yes.
Commissioner Lemon?
Yes.
Commissioner Shea?
Yes.
Mayor Dodges.
Yes, motion passes. Next item is to approve the minutes. Commissioner Shoneman.
I move to approve the minutes of the Board of Public Works meeting of September 21, 2023.
Could you please call the roll?
Commissioner Moriarty?
Yes.
Commissioner Shoneman?
Yes.
Commissioner Lemon?
Yes.
Commissioner Shea?
Yes.
Mayor Dodges.
Yes, motion passes. We have public comment. Is there any member of the public who would like to address the board? If not, we'll move on to the presentation from regarding Renaissance Park
Oh.
improvements.
Huh? Can you want to put that, can you put that in? Claire, do you know, do we have? Yes, please. Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. No, it won't. We just won't see Commissioner Shea's name, but that's okay.
It's for the new thing.
Unplug the, unplug the. You don't want to do this?
Use the
Yeah.
mouse, you're gonna have to use the mouse.
Can't see what the top of the screen is.
There we go. Yes, it is. Okay.
So, Commissioners, you'll recall that Amy and John were here a few meetings ago to make a presentation. I think there was a request to see some nighttime renderings, so I think that's what Amy and John are here to
Yes,
show
so
us.
go ahead.
Okay, very good. Thank you for the time today. We're just gonna, this is basically the same presentation we gave last time, a couple months ago, except we've added some night renderings in, so we'll move quickly through it. Bicentennial Park, we had talked before. We've lengthened the walking path to make it flatter, more accessible for people with mobility challenges. And if we go to the next slide, there's a rendering you saw before, and here's the night view. And so we think lighting without being overwhelming. There's one point about the lighting I'd like to point out to you. If you look in the back alongside the building is a boardwalk. There's quite a few boardwalks in this project. These boardwalks are like the boardwalk that's at Peddler's Daughter, and you can see the lighting concept for the boardwalk. It's not brightly garish lit, it's within the handrail. We have LED lights that point down at the path itself. So it's lit enough to be safe without being overwhelming, we think. Next slide. Renaissance Park, some of the high points we had focused on before, we're maintaining the statue where it is today. To the left side of this plan, you can see we have a performance venue with a stage structure, and moving that to the side gave us an opportunity to have a large lawn area, pretty rare for downtown. And so next slide shows you a rendering. Looking at the lawn area, in the back of the rendering is the performance venue. Next slide. And there it is lit up. Again, we're lighting the walkways, trying to get appropriate lighting without it being overwhelming. Next slide. Here it is looking back from the side of the performance venue, looking back generally towards the Main Street area. And we have again, a nighttime rendering here as well. And we'll go to the next one. Here's the performance pavilion. And here's the lighting for the performance venue. And again, to the side of the performance venue, looking back, and we have a rendering here as well. And so very quickly, we went through a lot of detail before. Be happy to go back and talk about any of the detail, or just get your reaction to the lighting renderings that we've presented.
Anyone have questions or comments?
Have we seen the price tag for this project?
Generally speaking, the pricing has come in. The engineers' estimates that are being developed, we're not complete with design. Design development have been in the range of $12 to $16 million. It's a wild card at this point, because this is for the whole project. It's not just these parks. These parks that we're looking at are around $4.5 million. So I should have stopped and said, I'm talking about everything west of Main Street. We're looking at 12 million. We put a contingency on that because we just don't know where bids are going to come in. But we're looking at about $4.5 million for the work on the parks.
Okay, I personally would like to see a breakdown of what it's gonna cost before approving a project this size, 4 million, or more, and giving it kind of a vague, ish, 4 million-ish. It feels uncertain. If we're gonna spend that much money, it would be good to know exactly what we're spending it on before we give approval for a project that size.
It has been costed by our landscape architects. It's not just like a shot in the dark that they're taking right now. It's just we don't have an exact figure because it hasn't gone out to bid yet. So when we go out to bid, then they'll say it's exactly this much money, but for now we can go off the estimates that our landscape architects have gotten from the construction companies.
Are we allowed to see that?
Yeah, we can certainly send that to
Okay.
you.
Dan Hudson, City Engineer, and just to be clear, you're not seeking funding approval through the board tonight.
Right.
This is funded through the TIF district, the Riverfront TIF district. So, yeah, sorry, that's a mouthful. So that funding is, approved by the Board of Aldermen. You already have.
The bond is already
The
secured.
bond's already secured. What they're seeking is simply design approval tonight of the layout.
I understand that we don't have to give our approval for the spending of the money, but it would be nice to know if it's being done responsibly. At least that's important to me.
So we have a engineering level breakdown of various cost components that can be provided. So,
Okay.
What triggers the LEDs on the walkway railings?
that's a great question, and I apologize, I don't have an answer to that question. But we'll get you an
I
answer
think
to
the
that.
night renderings look fantastic.
Yeah,
I mean,
think
it
it's, I'm guessing it's light levels trigger it, as
Okay.
opposed to time.
Yeah.
But I don't know that for a fact, so I won't say that.
All right, so what are you looking for now?
I think,
Directors.
correct me if I'm wrong, John and Amy, but you're really looking for their concurrence with the design of these parks and before you got to bid,
Yes.
correct? So I think that's what they're looking for now, and we can bring back to the board perhaps once the results come in and we know exactly what the cost will be.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. We're,
Uh,
right now, we've got.
But sorry, John, I just wanted to say one more thing. So, I do just want to make clear, and I think Dan said as well, that this project is really not under the jurisdiction of the Board of Public Works. It's simply the relocation of these two parks that is under our jurisdiction. So I wanted to make that clear too, that the entire project is under the Board of Aldermen.
Correct.
So I just wanted to explain that as well.
I do have a question before we kind of give our blessing here, if I may.
Commissioner Shea.
Thank you, Kevin. For the lighting, this past year, we've had a lot of discussion about the directionality of lighting and light pollution, and it's tough to determine from the renderings, especially from where I am, to what extent these lights cast up. Can you tell us a bit about, there was some thought put into light pollution, and if this might satisfy our friends who are very happy to see us make sure that they can still see the stars with their telescopes.
So, on the design team, we have the firm of Fitzamara and Tachi are doing the electrical engineering, and as a sub-consultant to them is an outfit called Lumen, who specializes in the lighting. And we've emphasized to them all along and after the last time we were in here, the concern about diffusion of the lighting. They've used the word state-of-the-art for the shields that are being put on these lights. One of the reasons we went ahead and wanted them to take the time to present renderings that were as reasonably accurate as could be at this level of design was to try to show that. And so they have reviewed these renderings and have said that they think these accurately present what the expected diffusion of light is going to be.
Excellent. Good. I noticed that the trees were not, did not have light cast upon them, so that kind of indicated that the lighting wasn't an issue. As far as our lights downtown, I think one of the biggest street light pollution sources is the globes on the Main Street Bridge. And I didn't see anything like that with a full globe with the upper part exposed to cast light up in the design. Can you confirm that that's the case?
That's been our intention, that's been our discussions. We will absolutely verify with Lumen, the lighting consultant, to make sure that that is the case, that light is not being cast up in any of the fixtures selected.
Thank you, I really appreciate that.
All right, anyone else? All right, well, is there a motion for design approval?
I move that we approve the design.
All right, any discussion?
I would second it.
All right, could you please call the roll?
Commissioner Moriarty?
Yes.
Commissioner Schoneman?
No.
Commissioner Lemon?
Yes.
Commissioner Shea?
Yes.
Mayor Donches?
Yes. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll now go back to the regular order of the agenda with the Streets Department. Item A, Commissioner Schoneman.
I move to approve the purchase of winter road salt from Granite State Minerals of Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and Eastern Minerals Incorporated of Chelsea, Massachusetts, in the amount of $545,000. Funding will be through Department 161 Streets, Fund General, Account Classification 61, Supplies and Materials.
And
I can actually speak to that. This is, in fiscal year '23, the price was $79.22, went down to $76.70 this year, which is great. So we saved $2 a ton, and we are able to purchase more salt for our $545,000 budget. So I think that's good news. We purchased roughly 7,000 tons each year of salt, so
All
getting
right.
ready for winter.
Any discussion, questions? Commissioner Schoeneman?
Just curious.
Sure.
The brining, how is the brining and the salt, are they purchased differently? How does that work?
No, so we use the same salt for the brines, so the
You just
brine.
mix it with water?
And so it's more diluted, and it creates a liquid product that we spray on. And the advantage of the brine, just as a reminder for everyone, is that we can place that down 24 to 48 hours in advance, which is great, and that's helped. It also helps us save on our purchases of salt. It's reduced the quantity of salt that we purchase.
Great, thanks.
Anyone else? Could you please call the roll?
Commissioner Moriarty?
Yes.
Commissioner Schoeneman?
Yes.
Commissioner Lemon?
Yes.
Commissioner Shea?
Oh, I hope we didn't. He's still there, I think. Oh, yep.
Sorry, I was on mute. Yes.
And Mayor Donches?
Yes, motion passes. Item B, Commissioner Lemon.
Motion is to approve the purchase of one 2024 Ford F-150 electric pickup truck from Grupponi Ford for the price of $53,746. Pricing for this purchase will be off the New Hampshire state bid contract. Funding will be through Department 161 Streets Fund Trust Activity SURF.
Any discussion?
Good afternoon. Michael Rush, Fleet Maintenance Manager. This asset is replacing one of our older first CNG pickup trucks. The tanks on this vehicle expire soon, so it's going to cost a lot in maintenance for the upkeep of that vehicle. So we opted to use the funds to replace it with an electric Ford pickup truck in the efforts, that we're moving towards electric. So this was a smart decision. I think we even saved a little bit of money on it when we did it, so.
Thank you very much. Anybody from the commission? Commissioner Moriarty?
Mike, I was just wondering, this will be our first electric pickup, right? We don't have it in the fleet.
Correct, this will be the first one.
And so I'm just looking down the road, maintenance-wise, the mechanics to work on an electric motor. Are they getting training? How is this going to work?
So my technicians, we have put most of our technicians, I think with the exception of one or two, and I allowed them to opt out because one of them is retiring soon. But the whole fleet has had at least 6 hours of electrical vehicle safety training. And as we move forward with the electric vehicle purchases, we look to expand that training to the point where we get our shop certified to work on EV vehicles, just like we did with the CNG when that was implemented, I think, back in 2012.
Commissioner Schoeneman?
So this runs on an electric battery, is that correct? Gas and electric, right?
Correct. Similar to the mayor's car that we currently have.
No, just electric.
Yeah,
No,
it's
no
100%
gas, 100% electric.
Yeah, it's not a hybrid.
Okay. So it has a rechargeable battery that it works off of? And after it's done with its shift, it goes back and gets plugged in?
Gets plugged back in and recharged for the next day.
Okay.
This is not going to be a frontline asset either because we're not really sure how this is going to work out. So we don't, there's no plow on it or anything like that. It's going to be used in daily operations, but it's not a frontline vehicle.
Well, just to be clear, that we don't plow with F-150s anyway.
Yes, we don't.
Only 250s in.
Yes.
Okay, can I
Yeah.
also ask, how long is the battery expected to live?
They say 6 to 8 years. We do have an 8-year, 100,000-mile warranty. So if we stay on the current track of every 7 years, this will still be under warranty by the time this vehicle is up for replacement.
The battery is part
battery.
of the warranty?
Correct.
Okay. I understand that electric vehicle batteries are astronomically expensive.
They can be. The technology is catching up to the point where every year I think there is a decrease. They're talking about just replacing certain cells that go bad in the battery as opposed to replacing an entire battery pack. So that brings the cost down quite a bit. I do not have a replacement value as this is a newer generation battery. but it will be covered under our lifetime of having the vehicle.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Anyone else?
Questions?
Yes, Commissioner Shea.
So is this our first electric truck that we're considering purchasing, if we do approve it?
Yes, that's correct, Commissioner.
That's exciting. And would this be, like one of the supervisor vehicles, or do you know what kind of use it would be looking at?
Yes, it'll be in a supervisor capacity, and it will be used, I feel, daily in the position that we're gonna put it in. So it'll be kind of like our test subject, for the first vehicle for the street department anyway.
And as a municipality, would we qualify for the $7,500 tax credit? How is that something that we can somehow take advantage of? I imagine not, but I figured it out.
I don't believe at this time that we're able to collect that. That might be something that has to go through our grant writer.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if we can pursue any sort of grant to help support the purchase it imposed, I don't want to hold it up based on a search for grants, but that would be good. And then so I just want to make an observation that, you know, as a municipality, we're generating electricity, we're getting a very favorable rate on kind of our clean and cleaner energy efforts. And then we are in turn using that power to charge a vehicle. I think that the compounded benefits to the city of those two things are pretty cool. So it's just my thoughts on that. And I think that's all I've got for questions. And so this would be parked overnight, kind of in the charging stations over by the DPW building, right?
It will currently
Yes.
be parked here at the administration building, because this is currently the only facility that we have chargers at.
Okay. All right, thank you, sir. No, that's all I've got for questions. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Anyone else? All right, sorry, could you please call the roll?
Commissioner Moriarty?
Yes.
Commissioner Sherman?
No,
Commissioner Lemon?
Yes.
Commissioner Shea?
Yes.
Mayor Donches?
Yes. Next item is item C, Commissioner Moriarty.
Move to approve the purchase of one 2024 trackless tractor with plow package from HP Fairfield in the amount of $181,040. Funding will be through Department 161 Streets, Fund Trust, Activity Surf.
Michael Rush, Fleet Maintenance Manager. This purchase is to replace one of our 2018 trackless tractors. It is a like-for-like purchase. This tractor is used for brush cutting, sidewalk sweeping. It has miller attachments, clearing snow, as well as plowing and sanding sidewalks. The asset that it is replacing will be moved to the back line. It is still in okay shape to move to a backline unit. And that, like I said, it's a like-for-like purchase, similar to what we currently run. Happy to answer any questions.
Anybody? Commissioner Shoneman.
what's the lead time for these pieces of equipment?
About 8 months.
Okay, so maybe not for this winter, but for,
I wasn't
Next.
promised this winter. It could, it just depends on, there's a lot of things going on out there right now. This comes out
Agreed.
of Canada, so I believe it's still an 8-month lead time last time we looked into it, which was about 2 months ago.
thank you.
Welcome.
Anyone else? All right, could you please call the roll?
Commissioner Moriarty?
Yes.
Commissioner Sherman?
Yes,
Commissioner Lemon?
Yes.
Commissioner Shea?
Commissioner Shea. Earth to Commissioner Shea.
Yes.
You got it,
The user interface on Zoom is not, it's not popping up the mute button right away. I've got to click it several times, so
That's all right.
Commissioner Shea, you don't need to mute if you'd like to just stay unmuted, if that helps.
Okay, thank you, Donna.
And Mayor Duncan.
Yes. The next item is item D. Commissioner Shoneman.
I move to approve the purchase of one 2024 Freightliner cab and chassis tandem axle fifth wheel tractor with hydraulic package in the amount of $146,623 through Viking Sives of Vermont with Sourcewell contract pricing. Funding will be through Department 161 Streets, Fund Trust, Activity Surf.
Mr. Rush?
Michael Rush, Fleet Maintenance Manager. This asset is replacing our 1996 single axle low bed track that we use to trailer the low bed to transfer heavy equipment throughout the city for different projects. This asset is definitely in need of replacement due to its age, and the equipment that we have now compared to 1996 is a tad bit bigger and weighs quite a bit more. So the engine and chassis are kind of past the point of its expectancy for what we currently do with it. So the new tractor is kind of a like-for-like purchase with the addition that it can hold extra weight and has a little bit bigger of a motor to tow that weight. Happy to answer any questions you have.
Commissioner Moriarty?
Mike, is this the vehicle that will be running on diesel?
This vehicle will be a certified clean emissions diesel, yes.
And where do we get the diesel from? Is that where the gas is at the streets? Do we have a diesel tank?
Correct, yes.
We do, okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Could you please call the roll?
Commissioner Moriarty?
Yes.
Commissioner Shoneman?
Yes.
Commissioner Lemon?
Yes.
Commissioner Shea?
Yes.
Mayor Duncan.
Yes. Motion passes. Next, item E, Commissioner Lemon.
The motion is to approve the purchase of two 2024 Ford F-250 four-wheel drive pickup trucks from Proponi Ford for the price of $57,738 each. Pricing for this purchase will be off the New Hampshire State bid contract. Funding will be through Department 161 Streets, Fund Trust, Activity Surf.
Michael Rush, Fleet Maintenance Manager. These two pickup trucks are going to be moved to the backline pickup truck fleet. They are used in daily operations as well as snow operations. It's a like-for-like purchase. They're replacing two F-250 trucks with a plow package, so there's not much different there other than the year. They are gas pickup trucks, as they do not have an electric option for plow trucks yet for that size. Happy to answer any questions.
Could you please call the roll?
Commissioner Moriarty?
Yes.
Commissioner Shoneman?
Yes.
Commissioner Lemon?
Yes.
Commissioner Shea?
Yes.
Mayor Duncan.
Yes. Motion passes. Now we're on to wastewater. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Wastewater. Item A, Commissioner Moriarty.
I move to approve the user warrants as presented.
Could you please call the roll?
Commissioner Moriarty?
Yes.
Commissioner Shoneman?
Yes.
Commissioner Lemon?
Yes.
Commissioner Shea?
Yes.
Mayor Duncan.
Yes. Motion passes. Item B, Commissioner Shoneman.
I move to approve change order 3 to the contract with Doobie's General Contracting for the door upgrade project in the amount not to exceed $8,055. Funding will be through Department 169 wastewater, Fund wastewater, account 81 capital improvements.
Go ahead.
Keaton?
Wastewater Department. So this door is to replace it. It's an outside door, and it's really corroded severely in the bottom, and it's the way they built these doors, these industrial doors, they use concrete, and it literally attaches to the frame of the wall, so they have to destructively remove it, so it's pretty costly. It's not your average door. It's a heavy-duty industrial-type door, so that's why the cost is what it is, but it seems very reasonable. And they also have to repair above the door. In the old frame, there was a window there, and that's going to be removed and filled in. So there's a bit more work to it.
And
Any
this is-
questions?
And this also, Bill, is part of a much larger project, and this is
Right.
sort of the end, I think, of the
Yes, this is the end of the Last-
doors.
change order on the door
Replacement.
upgrade project. Came to over $50,000. We did over 20 doors.
All right, any other comments? All those in favor, sorry, could you please call the roll?
Commissioner Moriarty?
Yes.
Commissioner Shoneman?
Yes.
Commissioner Lemon?
Yes.
Commissioner Shea?
Yes.
Mayor Donches?
Yes, motion passes. We're now on to engineering. Commissioner Lemon. Yes.
Before we go on to engineering, so I'm gonna go back on mute. I sense that my cough is going through the roof. And then also, before I forget, I just wanted to ask, does our wastewater system participate in, kind of monitoring of waste for signs of infectious disease? I know in bigger cities, they do that. I'm just curious, if we are monitoring for COVID, flu, things like that in our wastewater system.
No, we are not, Commissioner Shea. We've talked to Public Health about doing that, but at this time, we are not. But it's a good idea.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about that lately, and, I think it could help to advise healthcare providers of what people are most likely experiencing for a pathogen and how to guide towards treatment, and help us know when to be more cautious about respiratory health. So, been thinking a lot about respiratory health this month. Anyway, I appreciate you involving me. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, so we're on item A. Did Commissioner Lemon make the motion?
I motion to approve the sewer service permits and fees as submitted.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Moriarty?
Yes.
Commissioner Shoneman?
Yes.
Commissioner Lemon?
Yes.
Commissioner Shea?
Yes.
Mayor Donches?
Yes, motion passes. Item B, Commissioner Moriarty.
Move to approve the following poll license petitions as listed in the staff report.
Could you please call the roll?
Commissioner Moriarty?
Yes.
Commissioner Shoneman?
Yes.
Commissioner Lemon?
Yes.
Commissioner Shea?
Yes.
Mayor Donches?
Yes, motion passes. Item C, Commissioner Shoneman.
I move to approve a drain layers license for J. White Contracting Incorporated of Andover, Massachusetts, in accordance with Nashua City Code 255-19, issuance of drain layers license, and authorize the Division of Public Works to temporarily suspend the license if work is found to be unsatisfactory during an initial 6-month probationary period.
Mr. Hudson, I assume you're up on this one?
I wasn't sure if you wanted me to speak to it or not. Dan Hudson, city engineer. So yes, we did receive a drain layer license application from J. White Contracting. Talked to 4 references. They were all favorable. And we've included the standard provision to be able to rescind this within 6 months. Thankfully, we haven't had to exercise that on any of these, but still believe it's a good provision to have in these approvals.
Anyone? Could you please call the roll?
Commissioner Moriarty?
Yes.
Commissioner Shoneman?
Yes.
Commissioner Lemon?
Yes.
Commissioner Shea?
Yes.
And Mayor Donches?
Yes, motion passes. Next, item D, Commissioner Lemon.
I move to approve the award of the construction contract for New Hampshire Route 111, EB and WB, over the Merrimack River Bridge deck rehabilitations to Beck and Bellucci of Franklin, New Hampshire, in an amount not to exceed $2,180,200. Funding through Department 160 Admin Engineering, Funds, Grant and Capital, Activity, Taylor Falls, and Veterans Bridges.
Again,
Mr. Hudson?
Dan Hudson, city engineer. So This is the project that we're doing jointly with the town of Hudson, where we're rehabilitating the two bridges that bridge the Merrimack River, connecting the communities. We are each paying 50% of the municipal portion of cost for these projects. EB and WB in this case references eastbound and westbound, engineers and their acronyms. The town of Hudson led a design process to design the rehabilitation. That was put out to bid. Now we have bids back, and Beck and Bellucci of Franklin, New Hampshire is the low bidder. Their bid appears to be in order. It's been reviewed by Dubois and King, who was the design engineer. This funding for construction will be an 80-20 match, where 80% of the funding is coming from federal funds, 20% municipal. That 20% we will split 50-50 with the town of Hudson, as I noted previously. So once these two bridges are rehabilitated, the City of Nashua's expense will be 10% of the total cost. This is for the contractor cost. We will be back for engineering support services for these two, both retaining the design, engineering, construction for any change order review and shop drawing review, that sort of thing, as well as a full-time in the field engineer to oversee construction as is required by the LPA process of the DOT tied to the funding that we're getting. So I'd be happy to address any questions the board may have.
Commissioner Schoeneman.
So just to clarify, this $2.2 million is the total cost or the city's expected portion of the project?
That's an excellent question. This is the total cost. I'm just going to do some quick math here. So City of Nashua's share of this portion of the work will be $218,020, and Town of Hudson's will be the same.
Okay. All right, great. The bridge is in pretty bad shape.
Yes, so the work for this project is rehabilitation and entails taking off the pavement, taking off the existing membrane that's on the bridge, rehabilitating the concrete. So, they'll have to jackhammer and do that sort of thing, get down to where they have good concrete, replace any rebar, anodes, which address corrosion issues. Those get tied to the rebar, and then reconstruct back up. The sidewalks will be reconstructed as well as some other ancillary improvements, like some guardrail improvements and things like that. So this is an extensive project, but this was advanced by the two municipalities to avoid a more extensive project later. We're doing this before, steel starts to fall into disrepair below and becomes a much more extensive and expensive project. So, but it will be a bit of work. The contract will likely start work this spring, and work will extend a full year. So probably be work through all next year. There'll be a winter shutdown, and then finish up the final phase in the spring of the following year. So it is quite a project, and will take some time to complete.
They reroute traffic over one bridge while the other one's being fixed, and then
Another excellent
switch.
question. The bid documents that were put out allow them to only close one lane at a time. So they'll pick one of the two bridges and do half of that bridge, move traffic on the other half. So it'll be one lane. Say they do the one from Hudson first. It'll be one lane for the bridge from Hudson while they're reconstructing the other lane. Then they'll flip traffic once that's done to do that lane. So total of 4 phases through all 4 lanes. Obviously, they need to keep, they will have to reroute pedestrians, because while they're doing the phase next to the sidewalk on one of the bridges, they'll have to reroute pedestrians to the other bridge so they can get through. But yeah, it's envisioned to be 4 phases. Should Beck and Bellucci come forward and have an alternate traffic control plan they want to discuss, then we would need to discuss that and evaluate. There's potential that perhaps there's a way they could figure out to do it at one season, and we would probably entertain that if that was possible. But right now, it is envisioned to be the full year in 4 separate phases of construction.
Yeah, wow.
Right. Commissioner Shea.
the, for the terms of shared costs, is that a standard practice, or was that a result of kind of some negotiation? How did we come to that 50/50 mark?
So the bridges, the line between the municipalities, splits the bridges. So it's just a matter of, we as the municipalities jointly own the bridges, roughly, 50% each. So that's where that came from. And when we entered into the design phase, we established an agreement for that cost sharing. We've continued that into the construction phase. The town of Hudson managed the design phase. The city of Nashville is going to manage the construction phase. So we're actually, they did that. They did their part. Now we're going to do our part, and we're sharing costs all along the way. And I was, as noted, splitting that cost where the bulk of that cost share is federal money. So it's a win-win project from our perspective, and we're looking forward to getting this rehabilitated and make sure it doesn't fall into greater disrepair.
It's nice to see the equitable partnership and getting the job done. So thank you for that insight.
Anyone else? Could you please call the roll?
Commissioner Moriarty?
Yes.
Commissioner Schoneman?
Yes.
Commissioner Lemon?
Yes.
Commissioner Shea?
Yes.
Mayor Donchi?
Yes. Motion passes. Item E, Commissioner Moriarty.
The motion is to approve the engineering services contract with Hayner Swenson, Inc. of Nashua, New Hampshire, in the amount of $275,680 for professional services for the sewer rehabilitation program. Funding through Department 169 wastewater, fund bond, activity, sewer improvements.
Again, Dan Hudson, city engineer. So the city does an extensive amount of sewer work, both, we've talked before about dig construction, rehabilitation, as well as CCTVing pipes. All that takes a lot of coordination and engineering support. When we CCTV pipes, those videos need to be reviewed. We need to determine, which pipes need to be lined versus another method of rehabilitation, those sorts of things, or which ones are fine, by the way. So Hayner Swanson, for a number of years, has supported us in this effort. We're seeking to have them continue that support. We do have some sewer dig projects that they're going to help us design, get them to the point that they're suitable for bidding. So this contract covers a variety of things, but we really need this support to continue to make the improvements at the level that we're doing them. I'd be happy to address any questions.
Anyone? All right, could the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Moriarty?
Yes.
Commissioner Schoneman?
Yes.
Commissioner Lemon?
Yes.
Commissioner Shea?
Yes.
Mayor Donchi?
Yes, motion passes. Next item is item F, Commissioner Schoneman.
I move to approve the engineering services contract for the Walnut Street Oval intersection project with Hoyle Tanner and Associates Incorporated of Manchester, New Hampshire, in an amount not to exceed $293,700. Funding will be through Department 160 Admin Engineering, Fund Bond, Activity Walnut Street Oval intersection.
Again, Dan Hudson, city engineer. I've spoken previously about this project. This is in the Walnut Oval area in downtown. The major purposes of the project is to make a better traffic flow from the Veterans Memorial Parkway into downtown. It's envisioned that West Pearl Street will be reversed at some point so that traffic can come down Central Street and then straight to Main Street. But in order to enable that, these intersections, there's actually, this Walnut Oval is 4 intersections around the oval, right? And this project will look at each of those locations, come up with ideas about how to make traffic flow better. Things that have been talked about are, perhaps a grid network where the intersections are teed up, or perhaps roundabouts if they fit anywhere, or traffic signals may be appropriate at some locations, or maybe it'll be some hybrid of all the above. Maybe it'll be I could envision some roundabout-type treatments that slow traffic and make for a safer environment while still providing all the connections that need to be made. But long story short, there's a lot of alternatives that need to be looked at to come up with a preferred alternative. This project is in the 10-year plan for DOT. It's being processed through the LPA process that DOT has. There'll be public meetings, a bunch of traffic analysis need to be done, and those sorts of things. So it's a pretty extensive project. This first contract here is with Hoyle Tanner and Associates, who was selected via quality-based selection process in accordance with DOT requirements. We selected them for the design, and this will cover the engineering study phase of the project, where they look at all those alternatives. There'll be public meetings, of course, stakeholder meetings, to get us to the point that we have a preferred alternative. Once we know what that is, then we'll come back with a design amendment to go through the preliminary and final design and actually do all the detailed drawings that need to be done to get it suitable for bidding. So this number here is a not to exceed. I think the price will actually come in quite a bit less than this. We have the benefit of having some high-res aerial imagery and some GIS, which will be suitable for this engineering study phase of work. This was contemplated that the full survey and right-of-way research would be done as part of this, so that'll probably come later. So anyway, the final cost of this will come down, but we are seeking to move ahead with this not to exceed, so we can get them under contract and get that work going.
Anyone?
If I may.
Commissioner Shea.
I am in full support of moving forward with reconfiguring this set of streets. This oval, from what I understand, is kind of a byproduct of the urban renewal era. And it's really just, it sticks out like a sore thumb. It's out of place, and it's a poor use of space, and coming to a better solution, I think will really serve the downtown and the neighborhood well. And so off the bat, I'll tell you I'll support this. My question is, for naming of streets and ovals, so we're referring to this as the Walnut Street Oval intersection. Whose purview does that fall under? Is it the Board of Aldermen? Is it shared with the Board of Public Works?
The question is naming of streets. I believe renaming of streets is a Board of Aldermen action. Just from the experience, having gone through renaming Broad Street Parkway to Veterans Memorial Parkway. But I wouldn't, that's up for discussion, obviously, that don't get hung up on this title here. This is just trying to come up with a concise project title to carry the project forward, but certainly if there's community interest in renaming streets, that could be entertained. And I did forget to mention, this also is an 80-20 cost share. So federal dollars picking up 80% of the cost, is the city picking up the other 20%. And I also didn't highlight the fact that another major goal of this project is to make the area safer for pedestrians and bicyclists. That's a key feature of this as well, in addition to the vehicle movements, which I talked about. So.
Yeah, it's really going to be excellent. Whatever the solution that's made is going to be leaps and bounds better than what we've got right now. And just to follow up on that question, the reason that I ask is because in this area, we have a sign that reads Double Linux Circle. There are a number of items in the area to honor our Greek neighbors and friends and people who built some of the neighborhoods back in the day. And I would really like to see us make that official as we look through this project. Because every time I hear Walnut Street Oval, I think to myself, but the sign says the Linux Circle, and I'd really like it to be officially official, to have some memorial that comes along with this project. And so I just wanted to mention that. And if other commissioners agree, I'd be interested in thoughts. We could continue the conversation in tandem with this project. I mean, this is something that we'll probably think about 6, 8, 10 years down the line, I would imagine. So we've got time, but there's never a better time to start
Mr. Hudson?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just as a follow-up, yeah, this project is on sort of a tight timeline in terms of getting it out to construction, so we do have a hard deadline on the backside, yeah, in 2025. So we'll have to have things together and out to bid by then. So this process is going to move fairly quickly, but the points you raised are excellent points. I think this project, this isn't going to involve a bunch of widening and that sort of thing. I mean, I think if anything, this will be a reduction in area, and as we tee things up, some spaces will get reclaimed and made available for other uses. So there'll be, down the road here, there'll be decisions to make about what do we do with that space, and maybe there's opportunity for a small pocket park, or who knows what'll come about, but there'll be opportunities for and decisions to be made about various areas, and there'll be naming opportunities, I'm sure, as part of that. So, so yeah, our plan is to get this going and then proceed in orderly fashion, but certainly the Board of Public Works and other boards in the city will be consulted and kept abreast of things as we go through the design process and have an opportunity to provide input on those things.
Very good. Thank you so much.
All right, anyone else? Could you please call the roll?
Commissioner Moriarty?
Yes.
Commissioner Shonneman?
Yes.
Commissioner Lemon?
Yes.
Commissioner Shea?
Yes.
Mayor Donches?
Yes, motion passes. Items G and H under engineering are informational only. So unless there are questions or comments, we will go on to administration. Under administration, item A we've dealt with, so item B is the director's report.
No, I think it's, oh, the clicker, yeah, I don't know if Dan, did you put that, did you put the, okay, you should be able to set that.
Yeah, try to get that presentation.
There we go. And then just hit, I don't have my glasses on, Dan, which, the full screen, yeah, where it says full, should say slideshow.
It's a slideshow at the top, and
And then we have,
say from, actually on the front. Try it all the time, try to. Can you get this?
over to the left, Dan, see, it should say,
From the beginning of the meeting.
there we go. Okay, perfect, thank you. So, okay, the first slide, we have, I'm sure you have all noticed, that Continental Paving completed final paving on Main Street. The striping is now done. It looks really nice. Unfortunately, we did have somebody who went through one of the median islands and took out a pole and actually dragged it 75 feet. So we need to replace that, and there's a long lead time on that. But, so that crosswalk will not be operational for a little while, unfortunately, but we're gonna get that equipment back in as soon as we can, in case you notice that there's a pole missing. CSX and All States Construction reconstructed the Main Street Railroad crossing on the 24th and 25th, which has been a huge improvement. They've also reconstructed rail crossings on Sharon Ave, Crown Street, Temple Street, and Nashua Drive. So we really, really appreciate CSX working with us and finally getting that done. We've been trying for years to get those crossings done, so we're excited about that. Indus crack sealed Clark Road on September 28th. All crack sealing has now been completed for the season. 55 roads were crack sealed this year, which added up to 13.2 miles. So we did a lot of crack sealing. We are working with GSSI, which is a local company, a very innovative local company, to help them field test a proprietary pavement density gauge. And this testing was conducted on Dawn Street on September 20th. So that will tell us how thick the pavement is, and it will be helpful for paving contractors too, to know exactly how much pavement they're actually putting down. So they even have an application that can be put on a roller, so this is up and coming technology. It'll be pretty cool, and they're right here in Nashville. The annual U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Safety Site Visit occurred on September 29th. Staff from New Hampshire DES Dam Bureau also attended. The city sponsors the levee and is responsible for operation and maintenance, while the Army Corps constructed the levee system in 1948, and they continue to inspect it. So it was a pretty normal inspection, and really all that they found was the normal maintenance and repairs similar to previous inspections. We have some disagreement, the city and the Army Corps, on whether we continue to need this levee, but that's another story. While it exists, we have to continue to maintain it. Our 2023 Halloween Boo Bash is this Saturday, October 4th from 4 to 6, followed by the movie Coco at 7 p.m., all at Greeley Park. We have pumpkin decorating, haunted house, hayride, bonfire, and free candy, of course. So that's always a fun event for the kids. Our annual senior outing, it will be held on Sunday, November 5th at the Courtyard Marriott. Lunch begins at noon, and we'll have lots of great raffle prizes and entertainment. The event is free for any Nashua resident age 60 or older. And our tickets are available here for purchase. So that's also a fun event. And if you know of any seniors that may, not, when I think of 60, I don't really think of seniors, but that is the age. So if you know of anybody 60 plus that would like to go, it is a fun event. We've got a lot of tree cleanup. This is cleanup that occurred on West Hollis Street, near 1100 West Hollis Street. We had emergency tree work on a tree that came down on Beeson Street in the first week of October. Our Park and Rec staff removed this. This is the edging of a baseball field at Lead Street, our Babe Ruth field. This work was done on October 11th. The Park and Rec staff are reshaping home plate at Holman Stadium and preparing the field for next year. We unfortunately had some vandalism at our brand-new park at Atherton. We had somebody drive through a brand-new soccer fields. And so they're doing their best to make repairs now. But we're going to put some boulders up so that this can't happen again. We also had some vandalism at Sunset Heights. This is a porta potty that was burnt on October 18th. We've unfortunately had too much of this go on this past year. Park and Rec staff planted 5 trees in front of Udicki Park this month. The trees are London plane trees, and 2 were red maples. Again, graffiti. We have a lot of graffiti that takes our staff away from doing other things that they should be doing. This is the upbuilding at Labine, and we are hoping to get this removed in the next few weeks. On September 29th, street crews excavated around the catch basin at 10 Parish Hill Drive to repair the bricks that had failed due to erosion and old concrete. This is a failed connection at a manhole at 11 Briarcliff Drive due to old pipe and concrete, again, that street crews fixed. On October 3rd, crews installed a berm to remedy some water erosion occurring at 70 Langholm Drive. These are additional berms, Marlow Road and Pirate Drive. These are, again, berms that were installed to prevent eroding. This is sinkhole at 1 Granada Circle that was repaired by the street department in late September. Performed excavation and found washed out concrete around the pipe, which allowed water to enter and created the sinkhole. You can see how busy the street department's been. The street crews repaired the sidewalk at 30 Shelburne Road on October 18th. The sidewalk was in need of repair due to poor conditions and safety concerns. This is the back trail access to the new Searles Elementary School, which was rebuilt and paved by street crews. There was it was washed out by heavy rains. This is a great example of our departments working together. The maintenance and collection staff worked with our welder from the street department to repair the tank drain pipes and valves which were leaking in the basement of the pump building at the wastewater treatment plant. And this was a really complicated project that required plugging lines, shutting off flows, scheduling of multiple crews, and quick work. Our wastewater staff welcomed students from the Elm Street Middle School, the 7th grade. And as you can see, they climbed all the way to the top, which some of us have never dared to do. Brave kids, but there's a great view from up there. Our analytical chemist, Adam Guy, passed the NUEA, which stands for New England Water Environmental Association, Laboratory Analyst Certified Operator exam. So congratulations to Adam on that. We will be having extended hours for soft yard waste drop-off. The landfill will be open from 8 to 4 p.m. on Saturday, November 4th, 18th, and 25th for residents to drop off soft yard waste. And I need to really emphasize that this is only for soft yard waste drop-off. We won't be accepting anything else during those extended hours. And we have landfill gas expansion work has been completed. And this was done by SCS contractor that we use frequently. Gas line headers were extended, and we added 7 horizontal wells. We hydroseeded the landfill above the zigzag project. This is to keep the side slopes from eroding, and this was completed on October 11th. Residential landfill permits for 2024 will be available starting on Monday. And just a reminder, any resident 65 or older, the permits are free. Our last household hazardous waste collection event of 2023 will be held on Saturday, November 4th from 8 to noon at 9 Stadium Drive. And that's a change. We have been holding them at Crown Street, but the last 2 will be at Stadium Drive, which of course is the street department. There will be no delay for curbside collections for the week of November 5th through the 11th. The Foil Hills Landfill and National Recycling Center will be closed on Saturday, November 11th for Veterans Day. However, we will be open and collecting trash on the 10th, which is the observed holiday, as we normally do. And I think that's it.
Any commissioners, any
Oh,
questions or
I think there's one more
comments?
slide. I'm sorry, Mayor.
Oh, okay.
There is one more slide, sorry. And this is just sort of a heads up ahead of time. We will be closed on Thursday, November 23rd for Thanksgiving. So curbside pickup for Thursday and Friday will be delayed a day. However, we will be picking up routes on Friday. So even though City Hall and some other departments are closed, including this building, we will be picking up trash on Friday. So Thursday's trash will be picked up on Thanksgiving. Trash will be picked up Friday. Friday's trash will be picked up on Saturday. And I will remind at the next meeting, but just to give everybody, that gets confusing. Thank you.
Any questions or comments from the commission? Ners?
I have a question.
Paul Shea, Commissioner Shea.
Director, do you know when the new electric pickup truck will be secured?
There's I'm really not at this point, Commissioner Shea. I wish we had asked that when, you are still here. Mike, do you know when we might be able to?
Because of the way that we did it through the state bid, they planned on already ordering some for the state of New Hampshire anyway. So we might see one in the next 3 to 5 months.
The reason I ask is because we probably won't see it in time, but when they do the holiday stroll, or when we do the holiday stroll, the generators are very noisy for the ice sculpture carbon. And that vehicle has some reverse power output capabilities. And I'm wondering, I'm sure there's plenty of on-the-job use cases for that. But it, just as a matter of kind of highlighting this and NASH's efforts for green energy, if it happens to come in, to that for some of the power needs at that part of the event. I have a couple of other comments. Or do we get a separate part of the response? We're coming in it now, right?
What was the question?
We have, I
Commissioner
don't,
comments.
we, Commissioner-
Yes, we do have commissioners' comments. So I suppose right now we are simply on the director's report.
Okay, so to add, I'll defer to anybody else who has follow-up questions or comments. Thank you.
Anybody have any questions for the director? Or all right, well, if not, Commissioner Shea, we will move to commissioners' comments, so why don't you go ahead?
So for the, I just want to thank Director Photo and department staff who have made efforts in regard to the Crown Street site and maintaining sanitation and maintaining dignity to the extent that we were able to be a part of that. It has been a big challenge for Nashville. I know I had the opportunity to attend the neighborhood meeting the other week. So just thank you for what we are doing on our end to support efforts to stabilize folks' lives and provide them with resources. It means a lot. I also want to thank you for having the Zoom set up for tonight and appreciate that. And thank you also for the railroad tracks and Main Street paving. I know that a lot of coordination and advocacy for smoothing that out has been done over the years, and I'm really grateful to see that that is finally taking place. It's going to make a world of difference for people coming through, especially bicyclists. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Shea. Any other commissioners' comments? All right, let's move on to personnel. The first item, Commissioner Lemon, item A.
I move to approve and unseal the non-public minutes for personnel from the Board of Public Works meeting of September 21st, 2023.
Oh, let me apologize for something. You know, Commissioner Shea, you're usually in my rotation, but because you're not here, it didn't even occur to me.
Honestly, I appreciate it. I've got my agenda here in front of me, but no, it honestly makes it a lot easier to have commissioners that are present to read those in the event that somebody needs to do that. So that's no.
All right, well, there's a motion on item A. Excuse me, could you please call the roll?
Commissioner Moriarty?
Yes.
Commissioner Schoeneman?
Yes.
Commissioner Lemon?
Yes.
Commissioner Shea?
Yes.
Mayor Donches?
Yes, motion passes. Item B, Commissioner Moriarty.
Move to accept the resignation of John Narrow, sign maintenance, effective October 16, 2023.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Moriarty?
Yes.
Commissioner Schoeneman?
Yes.
Commissioner Lemon?
Yes.
Commissioner Shea?
Yes.
Mayor Donches?
Yes. Item C, Commissioner Schoeneman.
I move to accept the retirement of Dana Courier, Collection Equipment Operator, Solid Waste, effective October 31st, 2023.
Could you please call the roll?
Commissioner Moriarty?
Yes.
Commissioner Schoneman?
Yes.
Commissioner Lemon?
Yes.
Commissioner Shea?
Yes.
Mayor Duncan?
Yes. Now we have a non-public session scheduled. Commissioner Moriarty.
I move by roll call that the board go into non-public session pursuant to RSA 91-A3, Roman numeral 2B, the hiring of any person as a public employee.
Could you please call the roll?
Commissioner Moriarty?
Yes.
Commissioner Schoneman?
Yes.
Commissioner Lemon?
Yes.
Commissioner Shea?
Yes, and I'm going to let you go for the non-public session. I know it can be a little tricky with the Zoom, and so I will wish you all a good evening. Thank you.
All right, thank you
Thank
for your help.
Mayor Duncan?
Yes. All right, Commissioner Shea is no longer with us,
We'll need to
but
make
could
sure
we,
that Okay.
could we? All right, we're back in public session. Commissioner Moriarty.
I move by roll call to seal the minutes of the Board of Public Works Personnel non-public meeting of October 26, 2023, until such time as the majority of the board votes that the purpose of the confidentiality would no longer be served.
Could you please call the roll?
Commissioner Moriarty?
Yes.
Commissioner Schoneman?
Yes.
Commissioner Lemon?
Yes.
Mayor Duncan?
Yes, motion passes. Commissioner Moriarty.
Mayor, I move that we adjourn the meeting.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Meeting of the Board of Public Works is adjourned at approximately 5:18 PM.